Moments of inspiration mixed with time to network, IBJ Media Events has you covered. From industry deep dives to awards celebrating Indiana's top leaders, see what's coming up and reserve your seat at ibj.com/RSVP.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025. I'm Alex Brown. Purdue University announced Tuesday that a suborbital spaceflight will lift off in 2027 with an all-Boilermaker crew via a partnership with Virgin Galactic. The flight, dubbed Purdue 1, will see university researchers and students, led by Professor Stephen Collicott, conduct and oversee experiments in microgravity, with an emphasis on how fluids behave in zero gravity.
On your kitchen counter, you'll notice that water does not spread uniformly. There's regions that stick and regions that spread nicely. When you take away gravity, this stick-slip phenomenon has even greater impact on how a liquid is positioned in a vessel in weightlessness.
Collicott will be joined by graduate student Abigail Mizzi and 3 Purdue alumni on the flight. USA Gymnastics plans to move its headquarters to a site directly north of the Arena at Innovation Mile in Noblesville as part of a new development that's expected to include office space and a new training and wellness facility. Noblesville officials say the project will lead to $609 million in new spending and the creation of 209 jobs. We'll have more on the project on this weekend's edition of Inside Indiana Business Television. The Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs this week announced the city of North Vernon as the 2025 Preserving Main Street Community. The designation provides the Jennings County City up to $2 million in grants to revitalize historic buildings within its downtown district. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media Podcast Network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.
Several months into their positions, Evansville's Orr Fellows are exceeding expectations and searching for the next group of young professionals to join the Early Career Development Program. Though the Indianapolis Orr Fellowship chapter has been in operation for more than 20 years, Evansville's inaugural cohort of 15 fellows started their 2-year journey with a dozen businesses in June. Evansville Region Director Ben Trockman said the program is putting the careers of the Evansville Fellows on warp speed.
These young people are continually impressing me just with their energy, their drive, their motivation, really just to be better every single day, to do more for not only Orr, but for their company. They're getting connected with each other. They've become not only a cohort of fellows, but they've become friends, and it's really nice to see. And they're impressive, and they're giving me hope for the future.
Trockman said at least 17 partner companies have committed to hiring the 2026 class of fellows ahead of the application deadline, which is September 26th. Duke Energy has selected a 104-acre site in Connorsville and a 169-acre site in Westfield for a marketing collaboration to attract industrial investment to the areas. The collaborations with the Economic Development Group of Fayette County and the City of Westfield are part of the utility company's 2025 Site Readiness Program, which helps prepare sites of high potential for economic development and markets them nationwide to companies looking to expand or relocate their operations. Duke Energy awards $10,000 to each site to help prepare them to attract projects. Rod Mayer, CEO of Warsaw-based OrthoLaser, says the decision to relocate the company's corporate headquarters from Rochester, New York to Kosciuszko County was a strategic one. He says the company, which operates more than a dozen clinics that use light therapy to decrease inflammation and ease pain, complements a lot of the work already being done in the city.
The majority of our focus today is on musculoskeletal pain, so many of our patients are total hip, total knee, total shoulder patients, spine patients. And so we really believe from a strategic perspective, it made a lot of sense to bring our corporate headquarters to the orthopedic capital of the world.
OrthoLaser is investing about $500,000 to build out and equip a previously vacant space in Warsaw that also includes the company's flagship wellness center. Ivy Tech Community College President Marty Polio is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now on the IBJ Media app or your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio.
I'm Tiffany Souter, mom of four, wife, entrepreneur, and host of the Life of And podcast. For years, I built my life with brute force, a successful business, a growing family, and absolutely zero margin. I was tired, snappy, and felt constantly behind, and I was too afraid to admit it. Everything changed when I stopped trying to do more and started building systems that actually worked for my real life. If you too are craving more peace, more presence, and just more time for you, I'd love for you to join me on the Life of And. Subscribe now on your favorite podcast app or listen at ibjpodcast.com.
The IBJ Media Podcast Network is the soundtrack of a growing state. Indiana is on the move, and you can hear it happening on the IBJ Media Podcast Network. We bring you the voices at the center of our economy, our courts, our companies, and our communities. Subscribe now and be part of the conversation that's building Indiana's future. Find all of our shows by searching IBJ Media in your podcast app or visit ibjpodcasts.com.